Usarkare, or also Vosarkare, meaning powerful is the soul of Ra, was the second king of the 6th dynasty of Egypt, reigning briefly from 1 to 5 years in the late 24th or the early 23rd century BC. Usarkare's relation to his predecessor Teti and successor Pepi I is unknown, and his reign remains enigmatic. Although he is attested in some historical sources, Usarkare is completely absent from the tomb of the Egyptian officials who lived during his reign, and usually report the names of the kings whom they served. Furthermore, the figures of some high officials of the period have been deliberately chiseled out in their tombs, and their titles altered, for instance the word king being replaced by that of desert. Egyptologists thus suspect a possible damnatio memorae on Pepi I's behalf against Usarkare. In addition, the Egyptian priest Manetho, who wrote an history of Egypt in the 3rd century BC, states that Usarkare's predecessor Teti was murdered but is otherwise silent concerning Usarkare. Consequently, Usarkare is often considered to have been a short-lived usurper to the throne, possibly a descendant of a caded branch of the preceding 5th dynasty. Alternatively, he may have been a legitimate short-lived ruler or a regent who ruled during the Teti's son Pepi's I's childhood before his accession to the throne. The tomb of Usarkare has not yet been identified, either because it was never finished or because Pepi I erased traces of his predecessor's rule. If the tomb was indeed started, Egyptologists conjecture that it should be located in South Saqqara. And Usarkare is present on the Abydos king list, a list of kings written during the reign of Seti I, who was ruling from 1290 to 1279 BC. Over 1,000 years after the early 6th dynasty. Usarkare's cartouche occupies the 35th entry of the list between those of Teti and Pepi I, making the second pharaoh of the dynasty. Usarkare was possibly also listed on the Turin Canon, a king list composed during the reign of Ramses II, who was ruling between 1279 to 1213 BC. Unfortunately, a large lacuna affects the second line of the 4th column of the papyrus on which the list was written, the place where Usarkare's name might have been located.